Hey, Ricky, how you doing?
Hey man, what you been up to this week?
Oh, just a little bit of, kind of been thinking about all the stuff that's going on in the multiverse, and I was kind of thinking to myself, now that we're getting in the multiverse, there's like so
Yeah.
many new characters, and I thought, okay, Spider-Man. We're going to talk about the Spider-Man No Way Home tonight. Talk
Yep.
about the trailer, and I thought to
Yep.
myself, I was inspired. I thought, well, this multiverse, we can put new characters in. So I started thinking, okay, I'm going to make these new characters. I'm going to send them to Feige and see if I can get these characters within the universe. So anyway, if I
Wait,
can,
you're
yeah,
you're you're gonna try to get new superheroes
yeah,
in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
yeah. I mean, what a perfect time to do that. So I went ahead and just kind of drew up some what my characters would look like. I thought, well, maybe with the multiverse, I can get some of these superheroes to Feige, and Feige is going to go, oh yeah, let's add this. Let's do like phase 5 or something with these characters.
Oh,
So can I?
okay.
So I'm going to share you a couple of them that I did. I'm really psyched. Um,
Okay.
this is Macho Man snap into a Slim Jim.
I'm pretty sure that character exists though.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, but he's
I mean he died, but we could bring him
well,
back,
the
I guess.
multiverse can bring him back again, so that's the whole thing.
That's true.
Now, this is a new character that I'm pretty psyched about. Is Amish Man. No butter to churn, and I think that will just we lost somebody when I did that. Oh, no butter to churn. Yeah, so that's yeah, that I think that one will do really well.
You have any more?
Yeah, I do
I'm not
actually.
sure. I'm a little
The
scared.
the next one here, I took me a little time. I was watching a lot of stuff on HBO Max, so you have to excuse me. But this one, I thought, Inmate Man,
It, in
don't
in
inmate, don't
oh
drop the soap. And so that's the caption on that. So
so bad.
yeah. And
So
for
bad.
my final character, I wanted to do something that, you got Doctor Strange, right? Kind
Yeah,
of a
yeah.
medical name and everything. So I thought Proctologist Man.
So wrong.
No buts about it.
There's
And
there's so much
yeah.
wrong about that.
So I'm going to come up with some new ones too. I'm going to continue. So
I
what do you,
I
what, huh?
I think we should just start the show is what
That's
I think.
fine. That's fine with me.
It's the Speaking Nerdy podcast with your host, Mr. Mike Silly.
And my good friend and compadre, Mr. Ricky Hope. Hope. I thought you were Bob Hope for a minute. Ricky Hope. We can call you Ricky Hope. So anyway, yeah. So I got all these superheroes. I'm gonna send to Feige, and so let's see. We'll see what happens.
Oh
Maybe
my goodness.
maybe we can have our own. I can have my own Avengers. We'll call it something else, like Offenders or something like that. Uh, uh, you had a chance. Here we go. There's Amish Man. Yes, you haven't seen that again. You got Proctologist Man. Yes, and Inmate Man. So anyway, check
They
them
would be
out.
the offenders.
Yeah, it would be the Offenders. So that would be awesome. Each has
Oh my
different
gosh.
superpowers. One can churn butter, and the other one can pick up soap faster than a speeding bullet. And of course, can make any man into a puppet. So anyhow, so yeah,
So wrong.
it is
Hey,
wrong.
if you were watching from the Speaking Nerdy podcast group, by the way, click that link to allow StreamYard to access so that you can send us comments so that we'll see them on the show.
Yeah, we're trying something a little different tonight.
Trying something a little different. If you're just watching from the Facebook page, no worries. We'll be able to see your comments.
Yes.
We definitely want to hear from you. Let us know you're watching, where you're watching from.
Exactly.
And any comments about what we're talking about are perfectly fine.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Even if you want to talk about Mike's new superheroes.
Yeah, Amish man. Remember, no butter or churn. And hey, for you out there again, I'm proud of this one. There you go.
Stop.
Yeah, I'm on a whole new Avengers coming out. So there has been a lot of stuff going on. Hey, we got our first comment. I wonder if let's see what happened here.
Hey,
what's
Daryl
up?
McCarty.
Hey, Daryl. Yeah, well, good thing we should have said that up front. Have everybody click in. It's glad to see everybody. Yeah, so yeah, we have a lot of stuff going on, and
we do.
I mean, I'm kind of surprised. Coming up to Spider-Man No Way Home, there's a lot of stuff going on. The Geek Happenings of the week.
Yeah.
Anything that comes to your mind that's been really sticking out to you? Among the other things that we have on the list. I mean,
I was going to say one thing that I thought that I wanted to mention, because it's coming up pretty soon, is the Emmy Awards. Some of you are like, Emmy Awards are super boring.
Yeah.
However, this year is kind of surprising. We have some Star Wars and Marvel Emmy Awards that are not for special effects or music.
Oh, really?
And that is the surprising thing.
The
Mandalorian has been nominated for Best Drama Series.
Really?
Yes.
Awesome.
And Giancarlo Esposito,
Close enough.
Butchered his name, played Moff Gideon. He is nominated for Best Supporting Actor for a drama
I totally
series.
believe that. He should actually win that in any category. He is so
did
good.
Great, yes. And on the Marvel side, WandaVision was nominated for Best Limited Series.
Oh, yeah.
And Paul Bettany and Elizabeth Olsen were both nominated for Best Lead Actor, Actress,
really,
respectively, for a series.
Now, this was in the Emmys, and under what category again?
Okay, so Mandalorian is Best Drama Series, and WandaVision is Best Limited Series. So they're not competing against each other.
Okay, but they're in other subcategories besides what the Emmys have, or they're in their own special spot, or is it just as a whole?
I mean, they're up against like, let me see real quick.
Non-nerd type of shows. Oh, okay.
Absolutely.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
These are like,
awesome.
Emmy Award.
Okay.
Emmy nominees.
That's a big deal. I didn't understand. I thought, well, maybe have a category just for nerds, but but yeah, I mean, that's pretty awesome.
No, this is legit stuff. Like,
that's awesome.
I mean, nerdy movies like that, shows and movies that we enjoy, have been nominated in the past.
Yeah,
but they're usually in the special effects
exactly
area or best music. But let's see, drama series. Okay. I'm sorry.
What?
The Mandalorian. Okay.
Yeah.
It is up against The Boys, which is another nerdy show.
Yeah, from Amazon Prime. Yeah.
Yep. A Handmaid's Tale, which is kind of a weird dystopian future thing, which is a little nerdy.
Yes.
And Lovecraft Country, which is
that's strange, but
thing.
Yeah.
So we have some other nerdy things.
Yeah.
And This Is Us.
Oh, yeah.
Which is a very traditional drama.
Yeah, exactly.
And Bridgerton.
Really?
If you're familiar with Bridgerton.
Yeah. What an odd mix there. Yeah.
That is what Mandalorian is up against. And then WandaVision is, what did I say it was? WandaVision is
something about
miniseries.
Miniseries, yes.
I'm trying to find the listing for miniseries.
Yeah.
Limited series, anthology series.
Okay.
Okay, so WandaVision is up against I May Destroy You. I don't know that one.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that.
Mayor of Easttown. I don't know that.
I'm not.
The Queen's Gambit.
I do know that. Yeah, which is
a really great show.
Yeah, but nothing.
And the Underground Railroad,
which is like total drama, nothing.
Yeah, straightforward drama. I mean,
that's interesting.
Queen's Gambit is a little nerdy, just because of the subject matter, but it's a period piece.
Yeah.
It's super cerebral. It's super drama driven. It is not WandaVision at all.
I mean, maybe that makes Scorsese as what's the guy who did The Godfather? Not Godfather. Scorsese made him. Wasn't him? He's talked about how aren't we done with the superhero movies? And here we go. We have competition with the very movies that he's probably.
So I mean, I think that's pretty.
That's
pretty
awesome.
Impressive. I'm super stoked about those two things. I will be waiting. I think it's the 19th is when we'll hear the winners. But there's a bunch of other stuff we've got on the list.
The first one I was going to bring up is Venom. Apparently, they moved it up to October the 1st. Which
this is the 5th time they've moved it.
Yeah, I think at first they talked about like after the first of the year.
Yeah, then, 3 weeks ago, I read an article that there was a rumor that it was going to move to the first of the year.
Yeah,
I'm like, are you serious?
Well, that's totally odd to me. Yeah, and I thought I read something the other day as that they're actually going to make it PG-13. That's interesting.
That is also super weird.
That is weird.
I am super surprised that it's going to be PG-13.
It's almost like saying we're going to do that to Deadpool, but this is more horror specific.
I was going to say, I'm not saying I'm disappointed. I'm surprised.
Same here. I mean, they can still do a very good job in PG-13. I'm just a little surprised.
Well, and I was actually on somebody else's page, another nerdy podcast that I follow. I made a comment that because somebody was saying, what's really the difference between R and PG-13? Yeah. And I said, well, here's the deal. It really comes down to this. When you look at the ratings, number one is PG-13. You can't have more than one F-bomb.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the general rule.
Yeah,
it's not exactly a solid stated rule.
No, exactly.
But it's kind of the accepted line is you can drop the F-bomb one time.
Yeah.
And then if you just reduce or eliminate any nudity, you can push it down. Yeah. And if you move some gory graphic violence slightly off screen, where it's the I just blew somebody away, but I don't show it. I cut away to a shadow of them, whatever.
Gotcha.
So we can get you can get that dramatic effect without actually seeing the gore. So I think it's totally doable. I'm surprised though.
Yeah, I'm too. I mean, that's one of those films that because Sony, I just figure they would go that direction with it, a little darker. But I mean, they still do that with PG-13. They're just going to have to cut back from the actual first one. And it's kind of like
my guess is they shot it and it was and they did the first cut and it was R. Yeah. And they
I'm sure they did
recut it.
Yeah,
they just recut it just enough. Just to scrape by.
Well, I mean, they get more revenue that way. They can get more people come to see it. I mean,
that's the theory. I think that's the with theory. Box offices being as low as they are,
they don't want to take any chances.
Well, look at the Suicide Squad.
Oh yeah,
a really enjoyable movie.
I loved it.
Have we reviewed that yet on the show?
We have. I think we talked about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. We did a whole show.
We did that.
So a great movie.
Yeah.
Super gory.
Oh,
lots of F-bombs.
Yeah.
Some nudity that was completely unnecessary.
Yeah. Exactly.
But So could that have been a PG-13 movie? Maybe the gore would have made it really difficult. But that being said, it's just wait, Daryl McCarty. Wait, the new Venom movie is the PG-13. This is about Carnage, a serial killer with a psychotic alien giving him crazy powers. I know.
It's I know exactly.
And it's going to be it's freaking Woody Harrelson of all people.
Yeah, that guy's weird.
Woody Harrelson not being in an R-rated movie. I honestly do think it's a box office issue.
Yeah.
I think they saw what happened with the Suicide Squad.
Yeah, exactly.
Making an opening weekend of under 30 million. They saw Marvel come out with a PG-13 movie, hit 90 million.
Yeah, exactly.
Shang-Chi, let's go ahead and bring that up. Shang-Chi just opened this weekend, hit 71 million, and that's a box office record for Labor Day weekend.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's it's number 2 since the pandemic. The only movie that's beaten it was Black Widow.
Yeah, and this was exclusive at the theaters. They didn't
exclusively at the theaters.
Yeah,
a character that most people don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
So it was a Marvel movie, but most people don't know who this guy is. Never heard of him before. It's just 70s nerds like me that were like,
exactly.
Thinking it's cool.
Yeah, Marvel Kung Fu fighting. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Marvel was Kung Fu fighting. We're gonna get shut off. We're gonna
do that. Yeah, exactly.
But
not just because of the song.
But yeah, I agree, Daryl. I think it's absolutely box office related. I think they made the decision to cut it down in hopes that they can get closer to the Shang-Chi numbers and not end up with 30 million like the Suicide Squad did. What else do we have? We have some other stuff on our list.
In conjunction to that, the Russo brothers, of course, with the whole Black Widow lawsuit. I mean, they're kind of looking at the same situation too. They're backing off because they're wondering, okay, how is Disney going to handle their contract? Of course, the Russo brothers, they did the bulk of phase 1, or phase 2. And so, these guys, they were highly involved in structuring the overall arc. Yeah.
We talk about Feige a lot being kind of the head honcho.
Yeah.
But the Russo brothers pushed a lot of these ideas to make all the threads connect. That's significant.
I think currently they're in an impasse with Disney because I think they're trying to go over contracts again, and they're kind of, after what happened to Johansson, they're a bit skittish.
I don't blame them at all.
I don't either.
Don't blame them at all.
Yeah, it would be too.
With that same idea in mind, we have Patty Jenkins who came out and just basically bashed every streaming service ever.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Now to be fair, she doesn't say, she says they look like fake movies. Now she doesn't say that movies that were made for the big screen being released on streaming services are a bad thing necessarily.
Yeah,
she makes a comment that it's necessary. I understand.
Well, that's because she has a contract. Well, that's because she has a contract with Warner Brothers to Wonder Woman, and so she doesn't exactly. So when I read that, she was kind of backpedaling a little bit, but for some, exactly.
Now, to be fair, she says that the direct to streaming, and it depending on what she means.
Yeah.
If she means the movies that were never intended to be on the big screen.
Yeah, exactly.
Then I agree with her.
No, I agree with that.
Adam Sandler made a whole bunch of Netflix movies that were straight to Netflix, and they were just, I would never have wanted to see them.
I think a lot of times she's thinking about like some of these big names are actually, instead of like you said, doing the production straight to they're doing the big film, the big production, and they're doing it on the streaming services. Like Prime has it, HBO Max has theirs. So
she does say that it's a better format for long storytelling, multiple episode shows, things like that. So that's fair, but I think it's a little bit of a, Patty. Eventually, all your movies are going to be on streaming services, so you better be nice.
And you might have to deal with HBO Max saying you're going to play the same time as we have on the theaters on our streaming service. So who knows? I don't know. Who knows?
I mean, that's the way Warner Brothers has been writing contracts lately.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Let's see the next one here. For Rick and Morty fans. This I thought was interesting.
Okay,
of course,
tell me about this. I was trying to follow this, and I didn't quite.
Rick and Morty is kind of, if you can tell, it's kind of almost like Back to the Future. Has that kind of feel.
They definitely played off those two characters.
Take off the basically you take the Family Guy with their crudeness and put it together with Futurama, and then you have a TV show if you kind of so it's not for the kiddos, so it's more like Family Guy material. But
so I know Rick and Morty, I know about it, but what's this live action thing?
Well, they're doing this to promote what they've done. They've taken, this is clever, they have Lloyd, and I forget the young man's name. He was in Knives Out, which was an awesome movie. Awesome movie if you haven't seen it.
David Martell, I believe.
David Martell. He played in Knives Out, which again, awesome movie. Give it a try. And so they've done a second one too, and there's a character in it that's a pickle, and so they're looking at a tray on the pickle.
Pickle Rick.
And Dan Harmon's behind it. And Dan Harmon, he was behind a couple of movies, and of course he's known for the occult classic Community. So if you're a fan of it, I love this live trailer. It's like maybe 15 seconds. I don't know how many of these are going to do. A lot of people thought at first, hey, this is going to be a live action show. No, from my understanding, it's like 15 seconds and stuff like that. So
these are just little short clips.
Yeah. So there's two so far.
Clip was amazing.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll have to look them up.
Yeah.
I've got to check this out.
Yeah.
I have never gotten into the show. My daughter is into the show. Yeah. I've never gotten into the show, but I need to check it out. So one other thing I had was, I don't know who all has Hulu out there, but get ready. October 8th, it's going up in price.
Wow.
The story is that, the ad supported version and the non-ad supported version are both going up $1 a month. And, so it'll be $6.90. So it'll be $6.99 and $12.99 respectively.
Okay.
But they say if you're part of one of the bundles, the Disney bundles, where they bundle it with Disney Plus and
ESPN,
Hulu and ESPN, that price is not going to go up.
Oh, okay.
So I really think they're trying to make it expensive enough that you'll
bundle the bundle. Yeah,
that'll be worth your while to buy all three.
Yeah,
because I'm not an ESPN guy.
No, I had all three, and then we separated them because I don't ESPN. I just don't get into, and then Hulu and Disney Plus, and so we ended up.
So we have Disney Plus and we have Hulu. I have no interest in ESPN, so for me, it would have to raise the price quite a bit
just to
before
get it,
it matters.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I need to check my Disney Plus subscription.
Oh yeah, you better do it.
Well, because I bought in early.
Yeah.
Do you remember this?
Yeah, I remember you saying they bought in early. You got it for
it was like
a discount.
you paid like $150 up front or something.
Yeah.
But it paid for like 2.5 or 3 years of service.
Isn't that something?
And we've got to be getting close to that now.
Yeah.
I don't know. I had to look at that. I might have to start paying for Disney Plus on a monthly basis soon.
I know. When is the HBO Max thing supposed to happen? I know there were some rumors because AT&T, I think something about spinning off.
Yeah, I didn't quite follow all of that, and I haven't seen any updates on it. I was a little confused as to whether or not they were simply moving things from one umbrella to another umbrella, and it's still all under AT&T.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or if they were actually spinning it off into its own organization.
Yeah.
With Discover, I think it was Discovery.
Yeah.
And all of them. And the article I read was specific, but it still wasn't clear to me exactly what was happening. I was
just wondering, because I know as you being an AT&T subscriber, you had it for free.
Right, and I was concerned that with this change, AT&T might not have it free anymore.
Same here.
I haven't seen anything about it.
Yeah, I'm really concerned about that.
Mike's concerned because his Parasite account might disappear.
Yes, exactly.
I'm not saying that was a thing, but if it was a thing, that could be a problem.
That could be a problem.
So this has nothing to do with news really, but
okay, go ahead.
Shang-Chi just came out. By the way, I keep saying Shang-Chi because I listened to somebody else's podcast and they said that's the way it's technically supposed to be pronounced.
Okay.
Instead of Shang-Chi like I've been pronouncing it for 50 years, or however long I've known who he was. Have you seen the movie yet? Are you going to go see it in the theaters?
We did for the Black Widow, and
you did.
And
okay.
My wife specifically wanted to go see it for the Black Widow. Because of the spikes, the situation going on right now, I don't know. I was hoping that they would stream, they would play both on Disney and the theaters, just for the selfish reason is that I don't want to go to the movie theaters. I would rather pay the $30, $20. I don't know. I would rather pay that and watch it at home, but I don't know if I'm going to go to movie theaters to see it.
I am conflicted. Well, I'm conflicted in that I'm in a situation where I just don't have the option.
Yeah, exactly.
Because of our current situation, I can't be away for 3 hours to go watch a movie. That's just not an option for me.
Yeah, exactly.
So it makes it it's one of those, I'm super disappointed that they're not going to have the premiere access.
Yeah.
Because I'm just going to have to wait it out now.
Yeah,
now the other thing is, if it's in the theaters for 45 days and then they open it up for premiere access and I have to wait another 45 days for it to be free,
you might as well wait.
I'm probably just going to wait.
You might as well at that point.
And I think that's going to be an interesting experiment for Disney if they go that route. I don't know if they're going to.
Yeah,
it may just go straight to the streaming service for free. It may skip the whole thing, but I could see them doing that.
Yeah, I can see them
doing 45 days in the theater, 45 days in, because isn't that the way they did Mulan?
I think Warner Brothers is talking about doing that too on some of their future contracts too. So it'd be interesting to see.
Well, Warner Brothers was talking about doing 45 days in the theater.
Yeah,
but
and then
Warner Brothers haven't set up they've never set up an HBO Max extra pay thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
However, now Warner Brothers could do 45 days plus however long they want to do on pay-per-view on all the pay-per-view services.
Yeah, exactly.
And just not take it to HBO Max for however long they're going to hold it out. I don't know.
I don't know either.
I'm stuck. I'm not going to be able to see it in the theaters. So I'm super disappointed that Marvel didn't go ahead and do it. I don't think they would have. I think they would have come close to 70 million anyway.
Yeah,
if they had.
Too. I think so too.
And that kind of brings that back to that question of Black Widow, would Black Widow have made more than 80 million?
Exactly.
I don't know if
I
they
don't
would
know.
have.
Who
I think they
knows?
would have made some. I don't know that they would have made 60 million more, especially with Shang-Chi making 71 without having, premiere access. But anyway, I think that's pretty much all the nerdy news we've got.
Oh man, what time it is? It's
I know we've been talking so long.
For,
I think it's time for some stupid news, my friend.
I think we should go there.
It's the weird and stupid news with your host, Mr. Mike Schilling.
The hills are alive with the sound of music. That's right. The sound of music. That's right. Apparently, Swiss cows are being airlifted off a mountain pastured ahead of a parade. Here you go. They're being...
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, they're being airlifted. Cows in Switzerland have been airlifted to the bottom of the Alpine meadows in a bizarre, spectacular situation. Yes, around 10 of the animals were taken by a helicopter off a ridge in the
Clausen. Does it say where?
They say the Clausen Pass region in the center of the country in Switzerland.
Clausen Pass.
Yes, that's exactly right down the street from Kuchenplatz. So
well, I only ask because like 3 years ago I was 4 years ago I was in Switzerland, and we watched the cows get walked through town
exactly for the
they
parade.
Were going to walk them up the hill.
Exactly.
Yes, they were about to walk them up the mountain.
Exactly.
So I'm like, well, I wonder if that was anywhere near where we were.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. They're using a mesh harness. The creatures were suspended and a length of cable below a chopper. Here's one of our cows in process. He's also air pooping as well. If you can take a zoom on that. Yeah, seriously. Yeah, he's doing a little aerial bombing while he's at it. And a farmer, Jonas Arnold, said one reason for the helicopter transport is that you can't reach some pastures by car, and other is that some cows are injured. And he said they don't have to walk all the way down. He added that I didn't ask the cows how it felt after such a flight, as it couldn't answer me, but it's only a short distance and it has to keep going. But in the total, I think in the total herd numbers around 1,000, only 1% of the group were given help getting down. And of course, we'll be heading to, maybe this is Unterbanden in Switzerland, and are gearing up for the annual cow parade there.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, there they go. There's the cow coming down, and I thought that was
so funny.
It is funny.
Oh my goodness, that's so hysterical.
Can you imagine being there and just you're driving in the alpine forest, and all of a sudden you look and you go, what is that? And apparently cows can fly.
It was so strange just watching the cows walk down the road.
Yeah.
Let alone now seeing cows flying around the mountains.
I mean,
I was about 2.5 hours from where this happened.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that's hysterical.
The next one is more acute than stupid, but I thought it made me laugh. Wendy Armstrong from Workington, UK, takes her daughter Aurora and Daisy to the Lake District Coast Aquarium regularly. On one visit, Armstrong noticed a stingray was taking a particular interest in her 6-month-old Daisy. The stingray in the aquarium made her mom bust out laughing when it photobombed a picture of her baby daughter with the same expression on her face. I thought that was just the funniest thing. That is funny.
That's hysterical. That's super cute.
Yeah, I thought so too. Really not stupid. I thought it was. I like that. I thought we'd put that up there. Aww. Yeah, I know. Sometimes I do have a soft side. Sometimes
if you're watching and you're commenting, just comment. Oh,
exactly. So anyway, yeah. So she said that that was definitely one of her favorite pictures. So I thought that was pretty cool. The next one is a little bit different. Apparently, store owner tells robbers to come back later, and they did.
what? He told them to come back later, so
and
they did.
Yeah, he said BBC reports a 15 minutes tense Saturday for a Belgian e-cigarette shop owner identified simply as Dita. Ooh, Dita, pet my monkey.
Dita. My name is
Dita. Dita, do you want to? Anyway, we can do that for the whole show. Yes, I got Dieter. Well, a half a dozen wannabe armed robbers showed up mid-afternoon at his store. Dieter says, I told them clearly that 3 p.m. is not the best time to hold up a store. Dieter managed to stammer out, if they come back later on, he will possibly have more euros to hand over. To Dieter's surprise, they agreed, and then they thought it would be a good idea, and they left. The cops didn't buy Dieter's story that the suspects would actually return, but guess what? They did. Not only once, but twice.
Oh my goodness!
First suspect showed back up around 5:30, and Dieter shook his head in their direction. Dieter actually berated them, saying, "You have to buy a watch." He says nothing. He says nothing. He told them, basically, he told them to come back at 6:30, and when the store was closed for the evening. The hopefuls were back at Dieter's door an hour later. They actually came back later, and of course, plainclothes officers nabbed him at the time. Isn't it? That's insane.
That's hysterical.
That is insane. So,
there's some odd trust thing going on there. I don't know. I don't understand how that even happens.
I don't understand it either. But yeah,
they're very polite.
Exactly. They're very.
I'm busy. Come back.
Exactly.
I'll ignore you then. Oh my goodness, that's pretty funny.
For me, Uber. I don't know. Some people love going Uber. A lot of times, you use Uber to go to the airport. You get together with friends who, for safety sake. I mean, Uber is used in so many different venues anymore. But
Uber delivers food.
Yes, they do. But have you ever thought about hiring Uber to basically? Well, I'm going to read this. Things didn't work out for 3 Oklahoma City teenagers who allegedly planned to rob a bank using Uber as transportation.
What if your Uber's late?
Police say,
just wait here. I promise. Yeah. We'll just be a minute.
We'll be a minute. Here. Exactly. Don't worry about it. I'll give you
drive really fast.
I'll give you 5. I'll give you a 5 rating. So yeah, police say that the Uber driver who took the teens to a bank Tuesday afternoon called authorities after hearing one of them say he had a gun and he was going to cap somebody. The police say a gun was found on one of the teens after he tried to fight officers who arrived at the bank. The teens had apparently already arranged an Uber for a getaway car. Driver Brendan Case says he was waiting outside the bank when he saw the teenagers being taken away in handcuffs.
Oh my goodness!
So yeah, in handcuffs. And of course, they called. Of course, and of course, the Uber guy said they called me for a getaway car. He says, if you're going to do something like that, have your own car. So yes, that's stupid news.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
It's the weird and stupid news with your host, Mr. Mike Schilling.
Isn't that weird?
That's pretty funny.
Hey, we got a comment on here. Can't post comments in some destinations. Learn more. in our comment section. So I'm wondering if we're running into some of the comment issues.
Oh, no, it just means if we comment from our end,
oh, okay.
groups can't see our comments.
Oh, okay.
We can read theirs if they click the little button, but they can't see ours. But we don't usually use that.
No,
we usually just talk to people.
That's right.
So I don't know who's out there watching us, but send us a message. Let us know that you're watching. We'd love to hear from you.
So now the trailer, we're going to talk about Spider-Man No Way Home.
No Way Home. No Way Home.
How many times have you watched that trailer?
A lot.
Yeah, same here.
I've watched it a lot, more than I should, probably. Yeah. It's probably not healthy.
I don't think what we do right now is healthy, but that's okay.
Well, there is that.
Yeah. Exactly.
Every time I see the title "No Way Home,"
yeah,
all I can think of is "There's no place like home." Yeah. I just am imagining, Spider-Man in ruby slippers clicking his heels together, saying, "There's no way."
I mean, that's a different comic book character.
He wakes up at the end and he looks at Doctor Strange and goes, "And you were there." And he looks at Wong and says, "You were there."
Were there.
Oh,
well, apparently, So, Spider-Man No Way Home, I guess, kind of takes off from a little bit of what happened previously.
Yes.
And of course, I guess it starts off where Mysterio, who finds out that Peter is the Spider-Man, he broadcasts it basically. Yep. He gets it to Jameson, who is the I guess of the Bugle. And of course, this is the scene here where
J.K. Simmons, great actor,
awesome actor. So I don't know, anything about the first couple of videos that you think about, images or anything in particular.
I mean, it is such a classic. This is such a classic Spider-Man story.
Yeah, exactly.
J. Jonah Jameson hates Spider-Man for some slightly inexplicable reason. He's some slightly irrational reason. Get me photos of Spider-Man, and I hate Spider-Man, and Spider-Man is awful. Except now it's fascinating because we know that J. Jonah Jameson doesn't run a newspaper. He's basically a media pundit.
Yeah.
He is the epitome of the
tabloid,
conservative tabloid radio show host. Yeah. So it's like, I was like, oh, that's interesting. But that was kind of the end of the last movie. But yeah, I mean, it kicks off really quick. It shows us some interesting shots, and
this is kind of from the previous.
We get that swing by the big sign that he's horrible.
Yeah,
and MJ kind of making fun of him for all of it.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. I read a comment that MJ is reading a real world New York Post, not the Daily Bugle. So I guess the Daily Bugle is not existent in this universe. So
either that or that's his show.
Exactly. I guess so.
Which would make sense if the Daily Bugle was his show, was his pundit show, and it wasn't actually a newspaper.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought. Yeah.
So put the photo back up real quick.
Yeah, let's do that.
So, is Marvel trolling us? Are they telling us that this is a Phase 4 movie?
I don't know.
With his legs making a number 4. Sorry,
This
is now we're stretching. This is the Marvel conspiracy theory train wreck that will happen or is happening right now.
Oh, there's a ton of things in the Twitterverse that people are claiming about.
Goodness. So much.
Of course, after being identified as Superman, of course, Peter, his whole life is basically disrupted at school, and,
everybody's taking videos of him, which is kind of funny. It is this is life. If something like that really happened, you would definitely be on every social media platform everywhere.
Oh yeah,
everyone would be taking videos of you constantly.
Oh, that's a real deal. Yeah. I didn't have the photo, but they had one where he was walking, and there was a sign that one of the students was holding. It said, "The devil in disguise."
Devil in disguise.
And there was a bunch of Twitter things about that. Did you read about that?
Everybody's thought is, oh, that means Mephisto is involved.
Yeah, exactly.
Because Mephisto has to eventually be involved in something. Because
capacity,
everybody was super disappointed that Mephisto was not involved in WandaVision.
Exactly.
and I have a speculation.
Go ahead.
Shall I share my speculation now?
Go ahead, man.
Okay.
No, go ahead and share.
So here's my speculation. I don't think it's Mephisto. Okay.
You know?
I don't. And here's why. It feels like they're trying too hard.
Yeah, okay. I get that.
Do we have a picture of Doctor Strange in the Sanctum?
Yes, we do.
Can you throw that up real quick?
Yeah, I can throw that up. Is this
okay?
Yeah.
There we go. So the Sanctum is frozen over.
Yeah, exactly.
So okay, so is this another Marvel? We're hinting at the fact that hell has frozen over.
Yeah.
Is this a reference to Mephisto? I feel like it's trying too hard to tell us it's Mephisto.
Yeah, I think so.
So it definitely isn't. Because that's just the way every time I've tried to follow the breadcrumbs, they've gone back and said, "Oh no, it's just exactly what it looks like. Exactly. It's not anything deeper than this." So, but here is my conjecture, and there is some comic precedent for this. I think it's possible that our big bad for the movie is actually going to be a guy named Nightmare.
Okay.
Specifically, the Marvel Ultimates version of Nightmare. If you're part of the audience and you're not familiar with the Ultimates series from Marvel, it's like a second Marvel universe, and they tried to be all edgelord version of Marvel. It's actually where we get the Samuel L. Jackson version of Nick Fury from.
Oh, okay.
So that's where we first saw a Samuel L. Jackson looking black guy as Nick Fury. It was in the Ultimates. And then when the Marvel launched, they decided they would actually recruit him because of the comics. And the comics were specifically designed after Samuel L. Jackson on purpose.
Oh.
It's super, super convoluted deal.
That is convoluted there, yeah.
But that being said, so the idea here is Nightmare has a pretty substantial background with Doctor Strange and Spider-Man in particular.
Yeah.
There's actually a storyline where in the Ultimate series, number 1, Nightmare can shapeshift, much like Loki.
Yeah.
The other thing is there's a storyline where Nightmare actually does possess the body of Doctor Strange temporarily. And while he's possessed Doctor Strange, he at some point gets some confusion going on, and he interacts with Spider-Man and then torments Spider-Man's dreams with all of his biggest foes, which is what we have in this movie. We have a whole bunch of bad guys.
Yeah, out of the woodworks, man, all of them.
So it kind of fits. I don't know if it's going to happen. The thing I don't want, this is so lame. I don't want to watch 2.5 hours of movie and then go, it was all a dream.
Oh, let's not,
because that's the Nightmare thing. Nightmare doesn't necessarily happen. He lives off the dreams of people. That's where he gets his energy from.
Yeah.
So he makes you dream these things, although they do literally affect you.
Yeah.
It's really all a dream. He's just tormenting you in your dreams.
Yeah.
So I think that would be kind of a letdown.
Yeah,
but
let's not make it. Let's not do a Saint elsewhere. Exactly.
exactly.
The next one coming up is, of course, Peter is being accused of murdering
Mysterio, yeah.
Mysterio, and which I'm curious why. Of course, he was kind of seen somewhat in the being like a superhero, saving people. Remember, he was trying to play that part and trying to convince everybody of that. And so in this scene right here, and this is interesting. If you look close on the guy's vest, the symbol on it is DODC, stands for Department of Damage Control.
Yes, damage control, which this is something that's been bothering me.
Yeah.
We're getting suspiciously close to the Sinister Six.
Exactly. Yes, exactly.
But not quite.
Yeah.
It's like we don't quite have quite enough. And damage control is pretty well attached to the Vulture story.
Yeah.
Because in Spider-Man Homecoming, was it? It was Homecoming. Yeah. In Spider-Man Homecoming, damage control and the guy who will become Vulture kind of get into a conflict with each other.
Yeah.
So, but we aren't expecting to see Vulture in this movie.
For folks who are not doesn't know what the Department of Damage Control, their whole thing is that they get called in to take care of the messes after big superhero, supervillain battles type of stuff.
Yeah, so, and in the MCU version, Damage Control basically got hired by Tony Stark to handle it.
Yeah.
In the comics, I don't remember if it's Tony Stark or the government that hires.
Yeah, them. I don't remember that. Yeah, it was funny because Peter continues in the film, in the trailer, saying that he didn't kill Mysterio. And of course, the agent said, well, the drones are yours. And so I guess that's how they kind of pulled it together. But in the next one, and this is in the Twitterverse, my friends, I don't know if you read about this one. A lot of people want to say this is Matt Murdock. And I'm thinking,
his hairy arms. That's
hairy arms. But the thing is, he's supposed to be a defense attorney, and if you see in that trailer, he slams it down in front of Peter. So why would he do that?
It looks like a rather aggressive thing for a defense attorney representing. And I don't remember Matt Murdock being that overly aggressive.
No,
unless he was in his Daredevil,
exactly.
Mystique. When he was just a lawyer, he was kind of mild mannered, as I recall. It's been a long time since I've watched that show, but I don't recall him being super aggressive as the lawyer. But I don't. There's a lot of that room. I read it. See that. I don't buy it. And, speaking of that, of Daredevil, one of the other things I read on is total conjecture, but it wasn't on We've Got You Covered. Thank you. But it was just totally, and even the guy that wrote it said, I'm totally speculating.
Yeah.
He was speculating that to make the Sinister Six, we would see Kingpin show up.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Because there is rumor that he has been contracted by Marvel to come back.
The actor. I can't remember his awesome actor.
Awesome. That's a pretty substantiated rumor.
Yeah, that is.
But it's not clear exactly what he's going to do or where he's going to fit in. But but some people were speculating that could be it. I don't think so.
So that's probably the connection they're having with Matt Murdock,
I think
because of Kingpin and their.
But it does make sense. Honestly, if they were going to throw a lawyer in there, I would rather see the actress that's going to play She-Hulk show up.
Yeah,
I think that would be a better lead-in, especially since we already have that show slated, rather than trying to shoehorn a Matt Murdock in there.
Yeah, exactly. As much as I love Charlie Cox, who plays Matt Murdock,
absolutely,
and I would love to see many of the actors and many of the Netflix characters come over. We've had this conversation before, and we'll probably have this conversation a couple of shows down the road. But anyway, the next couple, of course, because of the whole situation with Peter, they bring in his buddy Ned, all his friends, Aunt May. I mean, they're being brought in for interrogation too. Interrogating.
Yeah.
So, but this was interesting. This was one, and I think this is kind of prelude to Peter finally coming.
I know.
You saw that?
I saw that. I was like, really?
Yeah, I know.
Goofy Halloween decorations.
Yeah, exactly.
By the way, who hangs a donut from Halloween lights? What is the donut doing?
Unless
there?
He's in a donut shop. I mean, unless he's in a donut shop,
I'm super confused. Yeah. That's like, it looks like there's a bat on the back wall. There's magicians that look silly.
I think
lights.
It's almost like maybe
donuts.
Yeah, I think there was had someone commenting that it could be during the Halloween season, and so that's why all that stuff is up. But it is
Halloween season. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. We almost had a new song. But also too, I was looking at it and I had some people really stretching. Oh, maybe it's Scarlet Witch from, maybe that's the exactly.
Well, okay. So the big deal with, since we've mentioned her.
Yeah, go ahead.
Everybody's saying she's going to be the bad guy, at least the bad guy at the beginning of the Doctor Strange movie.
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, having her do a cameo at the last minute, isn't out of having her show up as a after credit
scene. Yeah, I could totally see that.
Is not out of the question if she is going. Well, we know she's going to be in the movie.
Yeah.
If she's going to be the big bad of
because Feige made it very clear. Yeah.
If she's going to be the big bad of the movie, or at least the big bad at the beginning of the movie, then I could see her having a little cameo right at the end.
Exactly. Yeah, I can too. One of my favorite. Oh, I have to tell you,
maybe she's Doctor Strange in this movie.
Who knows? That's a good speculation.
Might
as well. All the things I've been reading. Yeah.
By the way, the speculation that Doctor Strange isn't. Well, we'll get to that. We'll get to that because we're not to that part of the thing.
Yeah. We're going to go back to back to Peter meeting Doctor Strange. This scene, I really like when I have it actually here. Peter. Talking to Dr. Strange, sir, and Strange says, please, we've saved half of the universe together. I think we are beyond calling me sir. And then Peter says, okay, Stephen. And then Strange says, that feels weird, but I will allow it.
I'll allow it.
That's a pretty good scene. The next one I really like, and of course, Peter comes to Dr. Strange. He wants to help him have it where back when nobody knew his identity, as Spider-Man. And I love this scene. Here is Wong. And when he hears about it, Wong tells Strange, do not cast that spell. That's too dangerous. And so Wong, he leaves through the special portal as he's walking out. I don't know. He has his bags or something. And the next
thing,
on
vacation or
something. And of course, Strange says, I won't do it. He says, I will not cast. I will, basically, he says,
I will not cast
that spell. And then he winks at Peter.
He winks at Peter, yes. So what does this mean? So is it that he won't cast that spell? But he'll cast some other spell.
Yeah, I don't know.
Is it that he won't cast the spell?
Yeah.
And that really Peter's going to cast the spell?
Who knows?
Or is it that I'm not really Doctor Strange, so Doctor Strange is not casting that spell, which is the conjecture that he's not really Doctor Strange at this point.
Yeah.
My thought is, if that is what's happening here,
if
this is somebody pretending to be Doctor Strange who can cast a spell, then we will get a real Doctor Strange later. Which,
exactly. Yeah.
All that being said, spoiler alert, one quick time. Did you watch the What If from last week?
I did not.
I haven't watched.
I
have not watched this week's, but you didn't watch last week's.
No, but you can. You're more than welcome.
I'll try not to spoil the whole episode, but we do see kind of an evil version of Doctor Strange in that What If.
Yeah.
And so what have we got going on here?
Yeah. Exactly.
Can we just have do we have a multiverse version of Doctor Strange that's not quite right?
Yeah.
Are we going to find the real Doctor Strange locked up in a closet somewhere?
Well, like I said, the multiverse it's going to introduce a lot of new characters.
It's not going to introduce Amish Man
and Inmate Man. It will introduce. It will be on instead of the Avengers, it will be the Offenders. And of course, my favorite, he's going to be kind of the Doctor Strange of the Offenders, proctologist man. So I'm really excited about that. So okay, back to the original. I did show in the progress that being cast and of course now, and as you can tell, go ahead.
So here's the question.
Yeah.
So Doctor Strange makes the comment, "Quit messing with the spell," while Peter's talking.
Yeah, because he's concerned about. Okay, wait a minute. He starts to kind of doubt what he really wants. He's kind of going, well, wait a minute. MJ's going to forget about all we experienced. My buddy Ned, and then Aunt May should know.
And I was talking to somebody else about this.
Yeah,
there's some interesting. This is all nuanced, and we know Marvel has been notorious for either. Putting dialogue in the trailer that doesn't exist.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Or not quite putting dialogue in that really makes sense.
Yeah.
Using it in the wrong way. And using even to the point of having special effects for the trailer that aren't the same in the movie.
Exactly.
So there's so many things there.
Yeah.
But Peter says... Basically, he doesn't, not these words, but Peter basically says, you remember the way it was before Mysterio told everybody.
Yeah.
What does he say? He basically says, can you make it so that he never did? That's what he says, so that he never did.
Yeah.
Peter is asking Doctor Strange to make it so that Mysterio never revealed it. Doctor Strange casts a spell that says everyone will forget.
Okay. Now
those are two different things.
Now,
I wonder if that's what the wink is. Yeah. I'm not going to cast that spell.
Yeah.
Changing time.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to cast this forget everything spell.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's what that is, or am I putting too much into it?
No, my question is because of the spell that actually Doctor Strange did cast, that everyone no longer knows the identity to Peter Parker, Spider-Man. How far does that carry? Does it carry to Happy? Does it carry through the Avengers? Does it carry to?
There's a shot of Happy in a car, surrounded by people.
Yeah.
And it's unclear what that is even about.
Yeah.
Well,
right.
My question was, if everybody forgets, does Stephen Strange somehow forget?
Well, and that's another question too.
Does Peter forget? But Peter can't. I don't think Peter forgets because he still is Spider-Man in the rest of the movie.
Well, you brought up a good point. I mean, of course, I'm going to back up a little bit, but of course, this is where you start seeing the multiverse happening, and you start, if you saw Doctor Strange, the first movie, which I loved, you start seeing that kind of Matrix type of evolving and moving. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But one thing, of course, in the background while this stuff is going on, basically he says we tampered with the stability of space and time.
Yeah.
And then the other thing, the multiverse is a concept we know frighteningly little. And then was a point.
Yeah.
Then was a point which I thought was odd because Strange was so eager to cast this spell when he says, "Be careful what you ask for, Peter."
Yeah.
So it's almost like, okay, wait a minute, you're getting on to Peter, but now you've cast the spell. Well, so what's happening here?
And he also blames it all on Peter.
Yes.
For trying to live a dual life.
Exactly.
He definitely blames Peter for the whole thing.
Yeah.
So that's another part of this.
Yeah, what's going on? Yeah.
Hey, Strange, you cast a spell. Yeah. Why are you blaming the kid?
Yeah.
But then he's also blaming the kid during the spell. Yeah. He's telling him, don't quit messing with the spell.
Yeah, exactly.
So is Peter casting the spell, kind of? Or is, like, when Peter talks, that changes the spell in some way? It's super weird. I don't... So I kind of go back to my idea of, is this Nightmare?
Yeah.
Okay, so if it's Nightmare, and then, Act 1, it's Nightmare.
Yeah.
Act 2, the real Doctor Strange shows up.
Yeah. Okay, I follow.
Now he can blame Peter for everything.
Yeah. Okay, I got.
Peter, this is your fault for trying to live a double life.
Yeah.
This is your fault for coming to somebody like me to ask to do this.
Yeah.
Then it is kind of Peter's fault.
What? Well, there's this one scene, and I'm trying to see, how is this related? I mean, this looks kind of adversarial here, doesn't it? I mean, what's going on here?
That, and I mean, I guess we've seen this a couple of times now. We saw Bruce Banner get knocked out of the Hulk.
Yeah, exactly.
And we've seen the Ancient One also do the same thing to Stephen Strange.
Yeah, exactly.
Knocking Stephen Strange out of Stephen Strange.
Yeah.
I think this one's funny because it knocks Peter out of Spider-Man.
Yeah, exactly.
So are they having this conversation of, is this the real Doctor Strange showing up?
Yeah.
Kicking Peter out of the Spider-Man costume and saying, this is all your fault. Why are you doing this?
Well, that speaks to the whole, even though he didn't say it during this part, he talked about the problem is you're living two separate lives, and and it's dangerous the more that you do this. And so I see that and I'm thinking, okay, what's happening here? Who is it? Evil Strange, evil Peter? Is it there another Peter? I mean, there's so much that can happen in all of this. So I have no clue. There was another actress in that I didn't right here.
Oh, yes.
I thought it was interesting.
Lots of conjecture on who she is.
Yeah, IMDb shows that Paula Newsome, she's the cast,
yep.
But there's no role information. And of course, the Twitterverse is all over the place saying that it could be Miles Morales' mom or Peter's.
I don't buy that one.
I think, or MJ's mom.
I think MJ's mom, I think, makes more sense.
Yeah.
Or he's dressed up. He's dressed up awfully quite a bit.
Yeah, I'll go back.
Maybe she's a lawyer. That
it could be.
That they're about to go into the, into the courthouse. I don't know. It's a little odd.
Well, she's not in the driver's seat, and I'm looking at this now, and is she like in the back?
Yeah, she's not in the driver's seat. I can't tell if that's like a long limo or like a limo or what the deal is. She's definitely somebody pretty prominent.
Yeah,
I would think.
So somewhere in the government.
She appears to be in the back seat.
I mean, could she be an agent or higher up of the whole damage control group? I mean, I don't know.
There is a particular, I can't remember the woman's name. There's a woman that is supposed to be in charge of damage control.
Yeah.
But she was actually in the Homecoming movie.
Gotcha.
So,
okay.
I mean, unless they replaced her with this actress, seems a little odd.
Yeah.
I want to say she's going to be something more prominent than we expect because Disney is hiding her identity.
Yeah, and I think it would have to be more than MJ. I mean,
If it was
MJ's
MJ's
mother.
mom,
It wouldn't be.
why would you hide that?
Yeah, that's too. Yeah, there has to be some important character that's involved in all this, like they did with Stryfus.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now it might, but I don't. Oh, we'd be amiss if we didn't do this one. The black suit, the black Spider-Man suit.
Yeah, I'm super confused because we have the black and red.
Yes.
We have this solid black, and eventually we get to the Iron Spider costume.
Yeah. Well, do you think there might be variant Peters? I'm just throwing stuff out there,
Are you trying to get Garfield into this movie?
Yeah, I am, and Tobey Maguire, but which I got sucked into a trailer that a fan made, and I'm mad at him right now. But no, I mean, like Loki, the whole thing going back to Loki, they're variants.
Well, okay, so with this idea, with this idea, and the comment I made earlier that Marvel has been notorious for doing CGI that doesn't show up in the movie.
Yeah, exactly.
What's the likelihood? Bring that picture back up. What's the likelihood that they CGI'd somebody else's? That they CGI'd Toby crud. I can't think of anybody's name. Tom Holland's head on somebody on Toby Maguire's body.
Yeah, somebody like that. Yeah. Who knows? I mean, they're known for that. Yeah, you're right.
They totally could have done it. I don't know if they did or not. I think it would be kind of funny if they did.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I'm confused as like that whole scene there.
Yeah.
It's a homeless shelter.
Yeah.
Because there's actually people cast. There are named characters that are part of the homeless shelter.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why is Peter at a homeless shelter?
Yeah,
that's never been a thing before.
No.
I don't understand why we're going there now. It just seems an odd place all of a sudden.
Yeah, exactly.
But whatever. Oh, hey, maybe he gets community service.
Oh, that's possible. Yeah.
I don't know how he get community service if he was convicted of killing someone.
Who knows? That's kind of a kind of a tame punishment right there. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you got punished, that means you were guilty of something.
Yeah, exactly.
And the only thing he's guilty of, maybe, is killing Mysterio.
Yeah, and that's debatable. Yeah, exactly. A couple of the villains that kind of showed up, of course, this is on the Twitterverse too. Of course, Electro, they're kind of commenting that this could be Electro being played by
and there's
Jamie
a couple
Foxx, which he is casted in IMDb.
He has been confirmed for some time.
Yeah.
And there are actually two. Hey, look, it's another Damage Control band.
Oh, I'll go back in that one. Oh, yeah, I didn't notice that. Look,
isn't it Damage Control? Or no, that's his Daily Bugle.
Oh, it does it? Maybe
I think that says Daily Bugle.
Maybe that's a TV band. Maybe that's kind of what it could be. Maybe is that what you were talking about? Maybe as a tabloid type of like
TV show,
type of thing. Yeah,
tabloid news show.
Yeah.
So yeah, Jamie Foxx has been confirmed for a long time.
Yeah,
but we don't get to see him in the trailer. I'm disappointed.
And this is a hint here of the
that I'm a huge fan of Jamie Foxx.
Now, Green Goblin. Hear the Green Goblin laughing in the background.
We do hear Defoe's laugh.
Now who knows?
And Defoe is listed on IMDb as being in the movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I should have brought my meme with me.
Oh yeah.
My meme that said Tom Holland goes, everybody's in my movie this time. And the guy who plays Dr. Octopus says, for more than 5 seconds, right?
Exactly.
Which I think is what we're going to get. I really do. I think we'll have one major bad guy fight that will be extended. And I think we're going to get like, I think Dr. Octopus is going to be the main battle guy. I really am afraid all the other guys are going to get little, they're just going to get walk-ons.
Yeah.
They're going to be there for a few minutes and then disappear.
Like a Suicide Squad all over again. I know.
Yeah. I could be wrong.
Yeah,
I could be wrong. I was wrong about Suicide Squad. You know,
I was too.
Look, Polka Dot Man almost made it.
Yeah, that was something. I know. I was rooting for him in the end, and then
in the end, I was rooting for him. I thought he was gonna be gone in the first 5 minutes, though. Well, at least Codpaste Man didn't make it.
He didn't make it in. Yeah. So we all know this. This is the part where we all know who that is. Octopus. Well, this was interesting, and too, this is like Tony Stark technology.
Yes,
in
so
that
he's
scene,
changed. He's changed back to the the Iron Spider suit.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is kind of interesting that he's now had at least 3 outfits.
Yeah,
3 Spider-Man outfits in this movie. Which but they're all Tom Holland.
Yeah, I know.
Are they?
But are they? How about Dita? Now this is now they have the
touch my night monkey. Night monkey is a reference to the last movie.
Yeah, we get Night Monkey.
I know. Sorry,
I know. That's okay.
It's not funny if I explain it.
Well, no, it's okay. A lot of people are thinking Night Monkey. Anyway, back to this. But yeah,
go watch Far From Home. You'll
yeah,
so Monkey is.
Yeah, so so now we have the separate arms, tentacles, if you want to call it. I don't know what the appropriate name is for.
I don't know if they ever named this in the cinematic universe.
Yeah,
in the comics, it was always kind of called the Iron Spider.
Yeah, okay.
Outfit.
Yeah,
because it was kind of an Iron Man version of Spider-Man.
Exactly. Got that. Well, and we were talking about, and this was interesting to me. And again, there's so much to play off. Again, it goes back to Doctor Strange totally erased the minds of everyone that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. But I thought in the very end, Octave comes up and say, "Hello, Peter," and so he definitely knows Peter Parker, and he knows that he is Spider-Man. So, so that stuck out to me. Again, it could weave in all kinds of directions, and that we have no clue.
I just say, Peter Parker is the worst at hiding his secret identity.
Yeah, exactly. He is.
Tom Holland's Peter Parker is the worst at hiding it.
Exactly.
Aunt May knows.
That's
his
right.
best friend knows.
Yes.
His girlfriend knows
now. Yeah.
Happy knows.
Of course, Stark does, but
Stark knew. But
I mean, that's all.
Here there. I mean, all of the heroes know who he is.
Yeah, exactly.
His bad guys all know who he is. The Vulture figured out who he was.
Yeah. Yeah. He's no Batman. He's no Batman.
Mysterio knew who he was.
Exactly.
He is the worst.
Not even Clark Kent, and he just has glasses. I mean, give me a break. Clark Kent just has glasses. And here is Peter Parker has an entire covering outfit, and he can't keep from being identified. That's exactly.
He's the worst.
He's the worst. Yeah.
I don't understand how anyone could be worse at keeping their secret identity secret.
That is
to the point that you needed to wipe the world's mind.
Yeah, exactly. That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad when the whole world needs to be wiped, knowing your identity. You've gone too far. Far from home.
Far from home.
And of course, it's coming. It's coming Christmas, December the 17th. It says, and it's going to be exclusively in movie theaters everywhere. Yes. So, Sony and Marvel is not. Yeah, I know. There you go again. And that was one that I would be so tempted to go to movie theaters to see, just because.
Oh yeah. If I had the opportunity, I would go.
that would be the one I'd go see. Nothing against, I'm going to say Ching Chai, but Ching Chang. I'm sorry, Chai Chi. Sorry, I'm not trying to make fun. I'm not trying to make fun of it. I'm illiterate. Chang Chi. Shang. Shaka Khan. Okay, Shaka. Anyway, but that would be one I would go definitely see in the movie theaters. But man, there's a whole lot in there, and I'm sure there's a lot of other Easter eggs and nuggets in there. But what's really fun is seeing the Twitterverse pulling stuff out of their rears, yeah. So
kind of like I did with Nightmare being,
but it's fun at this point, and you know what? They could be absolutely right because there is so much that can happen here, and I love how they purposely keep things out of IMDb. I mean, that's a great place to make a reference to see who's going to be on. So, yeah, go ahead. So
this being the first multiverse movie.
Yeah.
This just popped into my head. This is the first multiverse movie. Okay, so they did a time heist.
Yeah.
Was that multiverse or not? It's a little questionable. They time traveled for sure.
Yeah.
But in the last Spider-Man, Mysterio shows up saying he's from an alternate Earth, that a multiverse exists.
Oh, okay.
But he wasn't.
Yeah,
he lied.
No. Yeah.
He told the truth that existed. He lied about him being from there.
It, yeah.
So now our first actual multiverse movie is Spider-Man. That's kind of interesting.
That is interesting.
That's the long game right there.
Long game right there. Yeah. Yeah.
Marvel telegraphed that however many years ago that movie was.
Hey, they're genius, man. They know how to carry the long game. I mean, that's how they do it. I have no clue. Well, we stuck pretty close to our 45-minute goal, haven't we?
Absolutely.
Our goal, but this was too much fun.
It was a 45-minute show.
It was
after all the preliminary
after all the crazy stuff we did. That was fun tonight, and
it was good. I enjoyed that.
It was fun, and I hope.
Before we go, any speculations on your part? I threw out mine. Do you have any speculations? What do you think? Do you think it's going to be there's a big bad we don't know about, or do you think it's just going to be exactly what it looks like it is?
I think Marvel is known for surprising us with new villains, and I think part of the end, and it could be a villain that we would never thought of, like Scarlet Witch, and I have a feeling that she may be the main villain, or let's say a sub-villain of someone above her that may be kind of pulling the strings. So I don't know, but that's my guess. And I think throughout the whole movie you're going to have variants because we're set up with Loki. Loki set us up.
Speaking of variants, there is a group of people that speculate that at the beginning Doctor Strange is actually a Loki variant in disguise. I don't like that.
No. Well, Feige said, like I said, WandaVision will have a direct impact. I don't know. I think he said Loki also, the whole variant, because I think that's going to play into all of this too. Not saying that Loki's going to show up in it. I mean, he may.
If we get all three Spider-Men to show up, the variant thing makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, unless they do all Tom Holland playing Spider-Man, different variants of that.
Of Tom Holland
playing different
I could
see
that. Now that actually could make sense.
Yeah, that's what
It would be now. You know what? That's actually not a bad idea. And could explain three distinctly different costumes.
Yeah. And it would mean it could mean three different Doctor Strange. I mean, it could have a completely, and you have the main timeline of Strange and Peter Parker, the one I would call like the the main storyline, and these guys are trying to put it all back together somehow. Who knows? Who knows? But that's kind of a thing I could see. Now, I would love to see, Garfield and McGuire, show up. I think the theaters or whatever will scream and applause.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't know.
I think if they do, it'll be a walk-on bit.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's going to be just a 15-second, 20-second. I don't know.
Yeah, it's all wibbly wobbly.
Maybe a montage of going through these, the clouds and through all the spectrums and Tom Holland, there you go, Garfield, Tobey Maguire. We just have to our hats to you, and then we're gone. So yeah. But I couldn't see them playing a big role at all in this.
I don't either.
But I think that we could see a variant of Tom Holland playing Spider-Man and Strange too.
You think we'll get a firm ending to this movie, or do you think it will be kind of a cliffhanger for Multiverse of Madness?
I think we'll have some kind of ending where you see, kind of like they did with Thanos, at the very end, how they set up for the new situation that's going to come up. I think at the end we'll see who's the real master villain that may carry over to the multiverse. That's my guess.
We'll see the
Mephisto or not Mephisto.
Phase 4 villain, the big Phase 4 villain.
The Phase 4 villain, and so that's my guess. I don't know.
Hope so.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm thinking. I mean, and of course it's going to be some obscure that only the Marvel fans will pick up on, but which is great, So
it's always fun for us fanboys.
Yeah, exactly. So that's my thought anyway.
I'm with you. I think I like my idea of Nightmare. I don't think it's right. I think it's going to be much more what you see is what you get.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think I think there is not going to be another big bad. I think it's just there's going to be some kind of thing that went quite wrong. And that's really the bad thing, bad guy.
Like I said, or a woman.
Or a woman.
Scarlet
I know.
Scarlet
the big
Witch.
Bad of the movie.
Yeah,
I know. Yeah. Well, I think the big bad of the movie is going to simply be that things didn't go the way they should have.
Yeah, because I don't think
Strange and Peter have to fix it.
Because I don't think any of those villains that we have, like Octo. I think all of them are just going. They're just going to be a small part leading it to something really big.
I think so too.
Yeah. So
we're gonna have that meme of Spider-Man pointing at himself.
I know exactly. I love that. Exactly. Well, that's appropriate now, isn't it?
It is. It's really appropriate. Well, all right. Well, that's all I got, man.
Yeah. Let's our audience. Thank you for joining us. We're off a couple past weeks, but we're going to be on again this Wednesday. We're on 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Wednesday nights.
Right here live on Facebook and on
the
YouTube and on Twitch technically.
Yeah.
I don't know that anybody ever watches on Twitch.
But we're there. We're there if you want to visit.
Just in case.
We're just there. We fill a void. What void? I don't know. Maybe a multiverse.
You can find all our social links over at speakingnerdy.com.
That's right. You can. All our links there. And and we have a group, the Speaking Nerdy group. So pop in, say hi, and hey, make sure you go to our YouTube page, which is Mr. Ricky.
YouTube.com/speakingnerdy.
And there you can subscribe. Help us subscribe and build our base so we can, I don't know, look like, we're somebody, I guess. I don't know. So anyhow, so that's all I have. Thank you for joining us. Darren McCarty, a shout out to you. Thank you for joining. All the folks who actually watched us over on the Speaking Nerdy group. Hopefully everything went well on the streaming there. We were just trying something different tonight, so we'll see how well that went. But anyhow, we look forward to seeing you next week, same time, same I don't want to say Bat Channel. We might get shut down for that. Same nerdy channel. So anyway,
sounds good.
Yeah.
This has been the Speaking Nerdy podcast with your host, Mr. Mike Silly.
And my good friend and compadre, Mr. Ricky Poe. Yeah, we nailed it right at 45 minutes. I mean, it was like, no,
yeah,
it's good.
I think our variants are going to be disappointed.
I think so. I don't think so either. I think we just totally fell off the multiverse.
Something like that.
Yeah, I think so. Hopefully.